Imagine stepping into an elevator and feeling your entire world shift in 7 floors. Julian Steele didn't believe in fate. He believed in strategy, control, and the cold mathematics of power. But on a Thursday morning in September, fate walked into his private elevator holding a baby, and everything he thought he knew about himself began to crack. Stay until the end, because if you believe some connections can't be explained, only felt, like this video and subscribe. The elevator doors opened on the ground floor of Steel Tower, 43 stories of glass, steel, and empire. Julian stepped inside, his presence filling the space before his body did. Charcoal suit, Italian leather, the faint scent of bergamot and ambition. He didn't look up. He never did. Then she entered. Luna Torres moved quickly, almost apologetically, her intern badge swinging against her chest. In her arms, a baby, maybe 6 months old, dressed in soft blue, eyes wide and curious. She pressed herself into the corner, murmuring something gentle to the child, her voice barely audible over the hum of a scent. Julian's finger hovered over the button for the executive floor. He glanced sideways. The baby was staring at him, not the vague, unfocused gaze of infants, but direct, unblinking, as if the child could see through the armor Julian had spent 34 years building. Noah. The name was stitched on the baby's blanket, small letters, hand-sewn. Luna noticed Julian's stare and shifted slightly, protective. "I'm sorry, daycare emergency, I'll keep him quiet." Julian said nothing. He pressed the button. The elevator climbed, but something in his chest shifted. He'd been in 1,000 elevators, signed billion-dollar deals in rooms colder than this steel box. He'd walked away from relationships without a second thought. Yet now, trapped in 7 floors of silence, with a woman he didn't know and a baby who wouldn't stop looking at him, Julian felt something he hadn't felt in years. Curiosity. No. More than that. Recognition. The elevator stopped on the 6th floor. Luna adjusted Noah on her hip, preparing to leave, but the baby reached out, tiny fingers stretching toward Julian's sleeve. Luna's breath caught. "Noah, no." But Noah's hand had already brushed Julian's wrist, the softest touch, barely there. And Julian was froze. He didn't pull away, didn't move, just stood there, a man who controlled empires, undone by the weight of 5 small fingers against his skin. Luna pulled Noah back gently. "I'm so sorry." The doors opened. She stepped out quickly, disappearing into the corridor, her apology still hanging in the air. Julian remained motionless, staring at his wrist as if it had been burned. He could still feel it, that touch, innocent, trusting, impossible to ignore. The elevator doors closed, and for the first time in a decade, Julian Steele pressed the button to go back down. He found her in the open workspace on 6, a sea of cubicles and low murmurs. Luna sat at a desk near the window, Noah balanced on her lap, a bottle in one hand, her other typing rapidly on a laptop. She moved with the practiced efficiency of someone who'd learned to do 10 things at once. Julian stood in the doorway, unnoticed, watching. She wasn't like the others. No designer clothes, no calculated poise, just a woman in a simple blouse, her dark hair pulled back, a small stain on her shoulder from where Noah had drooled. She looked real, human, exhausted, beautiful. Julian's assistant appeared at his side, startled. "Mr. Steele, the board meeting. Postpone it." "Sir?" "You heard me." He walked toward Luna's desk. Employees scattered like water parting. Whispers followed him. Julian Steele didn't visit the 6th floor. Julian Steele didn't speak to interns, but Julian Steele had just felt something he couldn't name, and he needed to understand it. Luna looked up. Her eyes widened. "Mr. Steele." She stood quickly, nearly dropping the bottle. Noah gurgled, oblivious. "Sit," Julian said quietly. She sat. He pulled a chair from the neighboring desk and lowered himself into it. A man in a $3,000 suit sitting in a $50 office chair, inches from a woman who probably didn't earn in a year what he spent on watches. "Tell me about him," Julian said, nodding toward Noah. Luna blinked. I'm sorry? Your son. Tell me about him. She hesitated, confused, cautious. He's 6 months old. His name is Noah. I saw. Silence. Why is he here? Julian asked. Daycare called. He had a fever. I couldn't leave work. I just started 3 weeks ago. Her voice was steady, but her hands trembled slightly. I promise it won't happen again. Julian studied her, not with judgment, with something closer to fascination. How old are you? 24. The father? Luna's jaw tightened. Not in the picture. Julian nodded slowly. He should leave, should return to the 40th floor, to the boardroom, to the life he understood. But he didn't move. Instead, he reached out, slowly, deliberately, and touched Noah's tiny hand. The baby's fingers curled around his, and Julian felt it again, that crack in his chest, widening. What are you working on? He asked, his voice softer now. Luna glanced at her screen. Market analysis, entry-level stuff. Show me. Mr. Steele, you don't have to. Show me. She turned the laptop toward him. Julian scanned the report. Clean, precise, insightful beyond her pay grade. Impressive. But that wasn't why he stayed. He stayed because when he looked at Luna holding Noah, he saw something he'd spent his entire life avoiding. Vulnerability, need, love. And for reasons he couldn't explain, he wanted to be close to it, even if it terrified him. Julian stood finally, smoothing his jacket. Keep him with you today. No one will say anything. Luna stared. Thank you. He nodded once and turned to leave. Mr. Steele. He paused. Why did you come down here? Julian looked back. Their eyes met, and for a moment, just a moment, the mask slipped. I don't know, he said quietly, but that was a lie. He knew exactly why. He just wasn't ready to admit it. Julian didn't sleep that night. He stood in his penthouse overlooking the city, floor-to-ceiling windows framing a skyline he owned piece by piece. The lights below pulsed like a heartbeat, cold, distant, familiar. But tonight, none of it mattered. He kept seeing her. Luna. The way she held Noah against her chest, protective and gentle. The way she looked at Julian, not with awe or ambition, but with caution. She was right to be afraid. Julian Steele didn't do softness. He built empires. He dismantled competitors. His life was precise, controlled, untouchable, until a baby grabbed his wrist in an elevator, and something inside him broke open. He poured bourbon, drank it slow, tried to name what he felt. It was the baby, Noah. That impossible pull toward innocence, toward something pure Julian had forgotten existed. His phone buzzed. A message from HR. Intern background check flagged. Luna Torres, financial hardship, single mother, no family support. Julian deleted the message. Then he made a decision that would change everything. The next morning, Luna arrived at 7:45 a.m., Noah strapped to her chest. She moved quickly through the lobby, head down, hoping to reach her desk unnoticed. But Julian was waiting. He stood near the elevators, perfectly still. Employees streamed past him, none daring to make eye contact. Luna froze when she saw him. Their eyes met across 30 feet of marble floor. Julian didn't smile, didn't move, just waited. Luna approached slowly, Noah's small hand tangled in her hair. Mr. Steele. Luna. Her name in his voice, low, deliberate, sent a shiver through her. I need you on the 40th floor, Julian said. Luna blinked. I'm sorry? You heard me. I'm an intern. I don't... You do now. He turned toward the private elevator. Come. It wasn't a request. Luna followed, heart hammering. Whispers erupted behind her. By lunchtime, the entire building would be talking. The elevator doors closed, just the three of them again. Julian pressed the button. The ascent began. Silence. Noah cooed softly, reaching toward Julian. This time, Julian didn't hesitate. He extended one finger. Noah gripped it immediately, giggling. Luna stared. He doesn't usually do that with strangers. Maybe I'm not a stranger, Julian said quietly. Luna's breath caught. What does that mean? Julian looked at her. Really looked. The mask gone entirely. I don't know yet. The 40th floor was glass, steel, silence, Julian's private domain. He led Luna to an office adjacent to his, smaller but still larger than any space she'd ever worked in. This is yours, Julian said. Luna turned slowly, disbelief written across her face. Mr. Steele, I don't understand. You will. He moved to the window. I need someone I can trust, someone who isn't here for the wrong reasons. You don't even know me. I know enough. Because of a 30-second elevator ride? Julian turned, his gaze intense, unreadable. Yes. Luna's pulse raced. This didn't make sense. Men like Julian Steele didn't notice women like her. What do you want from me? She asked quietly. Julian stepped closer. Not threatening. Just magnetic. I want you to stay. Work here. Bring Noah when you need to, no judgment. Why? Because... He hesitated. For the first time, Julian Steele didn't have an answer. Because when I look at you, I remember what it feels like to be human. But he couldn't say that. So he said nothing. Luna searched his face. This doesn't make sense. I know. People will talk. Let them. Mr. Steele. Julian. His voice softened. Call me Julian. Luna's breath hitched. The intimacy felt dangerous. I can't. You can. Noah squirmed, fussing. Luna began to sway, soothing him. Julian watched, transfixed. He's lucky, Julian said quietly, to have you. Something in Luna's chest cracked. No one ever said things like that to her. Thank you, she whispered. Julian nodded, turned to leave. Julian? He stopped. Why are you really doing this? Julian stood in the doorway, his back to her, silent. Then, so quietly, she almost didn't hear. Because when he touched me, I felt something I thought I'd lost. Oh, what? Julian looked back, raw, unguarded. Hope. The days blurred. Luna worked. Noah played on a blanket Julian had ordered. Julian found excuses to check in, to bring coffee, to sit in her office, but they both knew the truth. He wasn't there for the work. He was there for them, for Noah's laughter, for the way Luna hummed while she typed, for the moments when their hands would brush and the air between them would crack with tension neither dared name. Julian's board noticed. Rumors spread, but Julian didn't care. For the first time in his carefully controlled life, he was letting something messy and terrifying take root. He was letting himself feel. 2 weeks in, Luna stayed late. Noah slept in his carrier. The office was quiet. City lights glowed. Julian appeared in her doorway. You should go home, he said. Almost done. Luna. She looked up, exhausted, beautiful, real. Julian crossed the room, sat on the edge of her desk. You don't have to prove anything, he said gently. Yes, I do. Her voice cracked. You gave me this chance. You couldn't let me down if you tried. Silence. Luna's eyes filled with tears. Why are you being so kind to me? Julian reached out, slowly, carefully and brushed a strand of hair from her face. "Because you remind me what kindness looks like," he whispered. Luna's breath stopped. His hand lingered. The space between them hummed. "Julian." "I know." He pulled back. "I'm sorry." "Don't be." Their eyes locked, and Luna realized with sudden, terrifying clarity she was falling for him. But that night, as Julian drove home alone, his phone rang. A name flashed on the screen, one he hadn't seen in years: Victoria Steele, his mother. Julian's blood went cold. He answered. "Hello, Julian." Her voice was silk over ice. "I hear you've been making interesting choices lately. What do you want?" "I want to meet her, this girl, and her child." Julian's grip tightened. "Stay away from them." Victoria laughed softly. "Darling, you can't protect her from the truth." "What truth?" A pause. Then, "That baby, Julian, do you even know whose it is?" Julian's world tilted. "What?" "Ask her. Ask Luna Torres who Noah's father really is, and then ask yourself why she came to your company." The line went dead. Julian sat in his car, hands shaking, mind racing. No. It couldn't be. Could it? Julian didn't confront Luna immediately. He spent 3 days watching her, studying every gesture, every glance, every moment. She thought no one was looking, searching for the lie his mother promised was there. But all he saw was exhaustion, tenderness. A woman fighting to survive while holding a baby who smiled at everything, even at Julian, the man now questioning if that smile was built on deception. Victoria's words haunted him. Ask her who Noah's father really is. Julian had built an empire on information, on knowing more than everyone else, on control. Yet here he was, powerless against a question he was terrified to ask. Because if his mother was right, if Luna had come to Steel Tower with an agenda, if Noah was somehow connected to Julian's world in ways he couldn't yet see, then everything he'd felt these past weeks, the hope, the softness, the crack in his armor, was a lie. And Julian Steele couldn't survive another lie. On the 4th day, Luna noticed. She felt his distance like winter creeping through glass. He still brought coffee, still checked her reports, but the warmth was gone, replaced by something colder, watchful, afraid. She found him alone in his office late that evening, standing at the window, silhouette sharp against the city lights. Luna knocked softly on the open door. Julian didn't turn. "You've been avoiding me," she said quietly. Silence. "Julian," he exhaled slowly. "Close the door." Luna did. Her heart hammered as she crossed the room, stopping a few feet behind him. "What happened?" she asked. Julian's reflection in the glass was unreadable. "Tell me about Noah's father." Luna froze. "What?" "His father." Julian's voice was calm, too calm. "You said he wasn't in the picture. I want to know why." Luna's hands trembled. "Why does it matter?" "Because I need to know if you're lying to me." The words hit like a slap. Luna stepped back, breath catching. "What are you talking about?" Julian finally turned. His eyes were cold, the mask back in place but cracked at the edges, vulnerable beneath the ice. "Someone told me Noah might be connected to my world, that you came here for a reason beyond work." His jaw tightened. "Is that true?" Luna's face went pale. "Who told you that? Answer the question." "No." Her voice shook with anger now. "You don't get to do this. You don't get to pull me into your life, make me believe—" She stopped, swallowing hard. "And then accuse me of using my son." "I'm not accusing, I'm asking." "It's the same thing." Silence stretched between them, heavy and sharp. Julian's chest ached. He wanted to believe her, wanted to take back the question, cross the space between them, pull her close and forget his mother's poison. But fear held him frozen. "His father left when I told him I was pregnant," Luna said finally, voice breaking. "He said I was ruining his life, that he wanted nothing to do with us." Tears slipped down her cheeks. "I haven't heard from him since Noah was born. I don't even know where he is." "What was his name?" Luna hesitated. "Luna. Why does it matter?" "Because I need to know if he's connected to me." Luna's eyes widened. Understanding dawned, cold and brutal. "You think Noah is what? Some kind of trap? That I got pregnant to what, Julian? Manipulate you?" Her voice rose. "We met 3 weeks ago in an elevator. My mother. Your mother doesn't know me. She doesn't know my son. And clearly she doesn't know you either, if she thinks you'd be this easy to destroy." Julian flinched. Luna wiped her eyes roughly. "His name was Daniel. Daniel Morrison. He was a bartender. We were together 8 months. He left me broke, alone, and terrified. That's the truth, that's all of it." She turned toward the door. "Luna, wait." "No." She didn't look back. "You want to protect yourself? Fine. But don't pretend this was about trust. You were looking for a reason to run." The door closed softly behind her. Julian stood alone in the silence, his reflection staring back from the darkened glass. She was right. He'd been terrified of what he felt. So terrified that the moment doubt appeared, he'd weaponized it. Used it to rebuild the walls she'd been breaking down, and now she was gone. Julian found her in the parking garage 20 minutes later. Luna was buckling Noah into a car seat in the back of an old sedan, hands shaking so badly she could barely manage the straps. "Luna," she didn't turn. "Go away. Please. I said go away." Julian circled the car, standing between her and the driver's door. Luna finally looked up, eyes red, furious. "Move." "No." "Julian, I'm sorry." The words came out raw, unpolished, real. Luna's breath hitched. "I'm sorry," Julian repeated. "You were right. I was afraid. I've spent my entire life avoiding anything that could hurt me, and then you walked into my elevator and—" He stopped, voice breaking. "You made me feel things I didn't know I was capable of, and it terrified me." Luna said nothing. "My mother is—" Julian struggled for words. "She's manipulative, cruel. She spent 30 years trying to control me. When she called, she knew exactly what to say to make me doubt everything, and I let her." "Why?" Luna whispered. "Because believing her was easier than believing this could be real." Silence. Noah cooed from the back seat, oblivious. Luna leaned against the car, exhausted. "I can't do this, Julian. I don't have the energy to convince you I'm not some villain in your family drama. I have a son to raise, bills to pay, a life that was hard enough before you complicated it." "I know." "Then let me go." Julian stepped closer, not trapping, just present. "What if I don't want to?" Luna looked up. Their eyes met. "What if I want to fight for this?" Julian continued softly. "For you, for Noah, for whatever this is between us." "You don't even know what this is." "No." Julian's voice dropped to a whisper. "But I know I've never felt more alive than when I'm near you." Luna's tears returned. "Your mother will destroy me. Not if I destroy her first." Something flickered in Luna's expression. Hope, fear, possibility. "I need time," she whispered. Julian nodded. "Take all you need." "And I need you to be sure, because if you're not—" "I'm sure." "Julian." "I'm sure," he repeated. "I'm terrified, but I'm sure." Luna searched his face for a long moment. Then she got in her car and drove away. Julian stood alone in the empty garage, watching her taillights disappear. And for the first time he understood what his mother feared most. Not Luna, not Noah, but Julian. finally learning to choose love over control. Luna didn't return to work the next day, or the day after. Julian sat in his office staring at the empty space next door. The blanket he'd ordered for Noah still lay folded on the floor, a forgotten coffee cup on her desk. The faint scent of her perfume, something soft, inexpensive, impossibly beautiful, still lingered in the air. He'd pushed her away, and now the silence was unbearable. His assistant knocked hesitantly. "Mr. Steele, your mother is here." Julian's blood went cold. Victoria Steele entered, without waiting for permission. She moved like winter itself, elegant, lethal, adorned in white silk and diamonds that caught the light like ice. Her smile was sharp. "Darling." She sat without invitation, crossing her legs with practiced grace. "You look tired." Julian didn't move from the window. "What do you want?" "To help you." Victoria's voice was honey over glass. "You're making a mistake with that girl, Julian. I'm here to stop you before it destroys everything we've built." "We?" Julian turned slowly. "You mean everything you built? Using my name, my life?" Victoria's smile never wavered. "I made you who you are." "No, you made me into what you needed. There's a difference." Silence stretched between them, two predators circling, each waiting for the other to strike. "She's using you," Victoria said finally. "That baby has nothing to do with us." "Are you certain?" Victoria leaned forward. "Because I've done some digging, Julian. Luna Torres, 24. No family, no support system. She applied to Steel Tower 6 months ago, while she was pregnant. Convenient timing, don't you think?" Julian's jaw tightened. "Coincidence? Or calculation?" Victoria pulled a folder from her bag, sliding it across the desk. "Daniel Morrison, the supposed father, disappeared 9 months ago, no trace, no records, almost as if he abandoned her, like she said, or as if he never existed." Julian's hands clenched. He didn't touch the folder. Victoria stood, moving toward him with the precision of a chess master closing in for checkmate. "I'm not trying to hurt you, darling. I'm trying to protect you. That girl saw an opportunity, a wealthy, lonely man who could give her stability, security, everything she lacks. You don't know her. And you do?" Victoria's eyes glittered. "After 3 weeks? Because a baby smiled at you?" The words hit their target. Julian turned away, throat tight. Victoria softened her voice, a snake mimicking kindness. "I know you want to believe in fairy tales, Julian. I know you've spent your whole life feeling empty. But love isn't real. It's chemistry, proximity, desperation dressed up as destiny." She placed a hand on his shoulder. "Let her go, before she takes everything." Julian stared out at the city, the empire he'd built, the control he'd maintained, the loneliness he'd perfected. "Get out," he said quietly. Victoria's hand fell away. "Julian, get out!" Her expression hardened. The mask dropped. This was the mother Julian knew. Cold, calculating, ruthless. "Fine." Victoria collected her folder. "But when she breaks your heart, don't come to me for sympathy. You'll have made your choice." She left. Julian stood alone, her words echoing in the silence. "That baby smiled at you." Yes, he did. And for 3 perfect weeks, Julian had believed that smile meant something. Now he didn't know what to believe. That night, Julian drove to Luna's apartment. He'd never been there, never asked, but he had the address from HR files, a detail that now made him feel like the villain his mother claimed Luna was. The building was old, paint peeling, stairs narrow and dark. Nothing like the sterile luxury of Julian's world. This was survival, struggle, real life. He climbed to the 3rd floor and knocked. Luna opened the door, eyes widening in shock. She wore sweatpants and an oversized shirt, hair pulled back, exhaustion written in every line of her face. Behind her, Noah babbled from a playpen in the corner, a tiny, cramped space that served as living room, kitchen, and nursery all at once. "What are you doing here?" Luna asked, voice flat. "I needed to see you." "Why?" Julian looked past her, into the apartment, the peeling wallpaper, the second-hand furniture, the diapers stacked on a wobbly table. The reality of her life, not a calculation, not a scheme, but a battle fought every single day. "Can I come in?" Luna hesitated, then stepped aside. Julian entered slowly, feeling out of place in his tailored suit, his Italian shoes, his carefully constructed armor. He looked at Noah, who smiled up at him immediately, arms reaching. Julian's chest cracked open. "Your mother came to see me," Luna said quietly. Julian turned, dread flooding through him. "What?" "Yesterday. She found my address. Knocked on my door." Luna's voice was steady, but her hands trembled. "She offered me money, a lot of money, to leave, to take Noah and disappear." Julian felt sick. "Luna, she said you'd be better off without me, that I was a distraction, a mistake." Luna's eyes filled with tears. "She said you'd realize it eventually, and this was her giving me the dignity of leaving first." Julian crossed the space between them in 2 strides. "What did you say?" Luna looked up at him, vulnerable, heartbroken, defiant. "I told her to go to hell." Something in Julian's chest exploded. Relief, admiration, love so fierce it terrified him. "Why?" he whispered. "Because I'm not for sale, and neither is Noah." Luna's voice broke. "And because, despite everything, despite your mother, despite your doubts, despite how terrifying this is, She stopped, unable to finish. Julian reached up slowly, cupping her face in his hands. "You what?" Luna's tears spilled over. "I'm falling for you, and I hate it. Because you're going to hurt me. You're going to choose your empire over us, and I'm going to be left." Julian kissed her. Soft, desperate. A decade of loneliness poured into one perfect, impossible moment. Luna gasped against his mouth, then melted into him, hands fisting in his shirt, pulling him closer as if she could anchor herself to something solid in a world that had never stopped spinning. When they finally broke apart, both breathless, Julian pressed his forehead to hers. "I choose you," he whispered. "I choose Noah. I choose this, whatever it costs. Your mother can't control me anymore. Your company means nothing without you." Luna searched his eyes, looking for the lie, the doubt, the inevitable retreat. But all she found was truth. Raw, unpolished, terrifying, real. "Julian!" Noah started crying. They both laughed, the spell broken, reality rushing back in. Luna moved to pick him up, but Julian stopped her. "Let me." He lifted Noah carefully, cradling him against his chest. The baby quieted immediately, tiny hand gripping Julian's tie. And Julian understood, finally, what he'd been searching for his entire life. Not power, not control, not empire, but this belonging. Julian stayed that night, not in Luna's bed, but on her worn couch, too small for his frame, springs digging into his back. He didn't care. Through the thin wall he could hear Luna's breathing as she slept, Noah's soft snores from the crib beside her, the sound of life, of peace, of something worth fighting for. He left before dawn, kissing Luna's forehead as she stirred, whispering a promise he intended to keep. By 8 a.m., Julian had already made 3 calls that would change everything. First, to his lawyer. "I want Victoria Steele removed from the board, all access revoked, today." Second, to his head of security. "Find Daniel Morrison. I don't care where he is, I need answers." Third, to Luna. "Come back to work. Please. Bring Noah. I need you there." She arrived at noon, hesitant, uncertain. But when Julian met her at the elevator, their elevator, and took Noah from her arms without a word, carrying him like something precious all the way to the 40th floor. Luna felt the last wall around her heart begin to crumble. Maybe this could be real. Maybe he wouldn't run. Maybe... Then Victoria appeared. She stood in Julian's office like a storm made flesh. Security had tried to stop her. She'd threatened lawsuits, public scandals, destruction. They'd let her through. Now she faced Julian across his desk, fury barely contained beneath her elegant exterior. "You're removing me from the board." Julian didn't look up from the document he was signing. "I am. After everything I've done for this company." "You mean everything you've done to me?" Julian set down his pen, finally meeting her gaze. "You built this empire on my name, my talent, my silence. That ends today." Victoria's smile was poison. "You're doing this for her. I'm doing this for me." "She's manipulating you, Julian. Can't you see? The only person who's ever manipulated me is standing in this room right now." Victoria's composure cracked. "I am your mother." "No." Julian stood slowly. "A mother protects, nurtures, loves. You did none of those things. You created a weapon and called it a son." Silence fell like shattered glass. Victoria's eyes narrowed. "If you do this, you'll regret it. I'll make sure of it. Threaten me again, and I'll have you escorted out by force." They stared at each other. Years of toxic love, twisted control, and unspoken pain stretching between them like a chasm neither could cross. Finally, Victoria turned toward the door. She paused, hand on the frame. "That baby, Julian. You're so desperate to believe he's innocent. But have you considered..." She looked back, venom dripping from every word. "That maybe he's not even hers." Julian's blood froze. "What did you say?" Victoria smiled, cruel, triumphant. "Good night, darling." She left, and Julian stood alone, her final poison spreading through his veins like ice. He found Luna in her office, Noah asleep in the carrier beside her desk. She was working, headphones on, completely unaware of the grenade his mother had just thrown into their fragile foundation. Julian watched her through the glass wall, studied her, searched for deception, but all he saw was a woman humming softly while she typed, a mother glancing at her son every few minutes to make sure he was still breathing. Someone real, someone honest, someone his mother was trying to destroy. Julian knocked softly. Luna looked up, smiling, until she saw his expression. The smile died. "What happened?" Julian entered, closing the door. "My mother came." Luna's face went pale. "What did she say?" Julian sat across from her, every movement deliberate, controlled. "She said something about Noah. Something I need you to explain." "Julian, is he yours?" The words hung in the air like smoke. Luna stared at him, shock giving way to something darker, hurt, betrayal. "What? Is Noah your biological son?" Luna stood slowly, hands shaking. "Are you seriously asking me that?" "I need to know." "You need..." Luna's voice broke. She pressed her hands to her face, breathing hard. "I gave birth to him, Julian. 36 hours of labor, alone. In a county hospital where they barely spoke to me because I had no insurance." Tears streamed down her cheeks. "I have the scars, the trauma, the memories. And you're asking me if he's mine?" Julian's chest tightened. "My mother implied..." "Your mother is a liar." Luna's voice rose. Noah stirred but didn't wake. "She's been lying to you your whole life and you keep letting her win. I'm trying to protect us by accusing me again." Luna grabbed her bag, her hands fumbling. "I can't do this, Julian. I can't keep proving myself to you every time she whispers in your ear." "Luna, wait." "No." She lifted Noah carefully from the carrier. "You want proof? Fine, here." She pulled her phone from her pocket, scrolling furiously through photos. Then she shoved the screen toward Julian. Hospital photos. Luna exhausted, sweaty, holding a newborn Noah against her chest. Timestamp, date, location, all of it real, all of it devastating. Julian stared at the image, shame flooding through him. "I'm sorry." "You're always sorry." Luna's voice was hollow now, defeated. "But sorry doesn't fix this. Sorry doesn't undo the fact that you still don't trust me." She moved toward the door. Julian stood, desperate. "Please, let me explain." "There's nothing to explain." Luna stopped, back to him. "Your mother will never stop. She'll keep planting doubts, keep destroying whatever we build, and you'll keep believing her." Her voice cracked. "Because deep down, you still think you don't deserve to be loved." The words hit like a blade between his ribs. Luna left. Julian stood alone in the empty office, surrounded by the remnants of something beautiful he'd just destroyed. Again. He didn't follow her this time. Instead, Julian did something he'd never done before. He called his therapist, the one he'd seen twice in his 20s and never returned to, left a message, desperate, raw. Then he sat in his office until midnight, staring at the photo Luna had shown him, the proof she shouldn't have needed to provide, the evidence of her truth, her pain, her love for a child she'd brought into the world alone. And Julian realized the terrible, unbearable reality. He was broken. Victoria had broken him so thoroughly that he couldn't accept love without suspecting poison, couldn't feel hope without bracing for betrayal, couldn't hold something precious without searching for the trap. He'd become exactly what his mother wanted, a man too damaged to be truly human. But as Julian stared at that photo, at Luna's exhausted smile, at Noah's tiny, perfect face, he made a choice. He could stay broken, or he could fight to become whole. Even if it meant tearing apart everything he'd built to find the man he was supposed to be underneath. The next morning, Julian's security chief appeared in his office. "We found Daniel Morrison." Julian looked up. "And?" "Dead. Car accident. 8 months ago. 3 weeks after he left Luna Torres." Julian's world stopped. Luna had been telling the truth about everything, and Julian had spent weeks doubting her. "There's something else," the security chief continued. "Morrison had a life insurance policy, small, but it named Luna as the beneficiary. She never mentioned, because she never claimed it. The paperwork was never filed. She didn't even know it existed." Julian closed his eyes. She could have had money, security, help, but she'd been too proud, too hurt, too focused on survival to ever look back. While Julian had been questioning her integrity, Luna had been quietly proving it every single day. "Thank you," Julian whispered. The security chief nodded and left. Julian sat alone, holding the information that could have saved Luna so much pain, and he knew exactly what he had to do. Julian found Luna at the park. She sat on a bench beneath autumn trees, Noah in her lap, pointing at falling leaves. The afternoon light caught in her hair, turned her exhaustion into something almost holy. She looked like peace itself, and Julian had nearly destroyed it. He approached slowly, uncertain for the first time in his carefully controlled life. Luna saw him before he reached the bench. Her expression didn't change. No anger, no hope, just tired resignation. "How did you find me?" "I know your routine now." Julian stopped a few feet away. "May I sit?" Luna hesitated, then shifted slightly. Permission granted, barely. Julian sat, maintaining distance. Noah glanced at him, reaching out instinctively. Luna pulled him back gently. "No, baby." The rejection was quiet, necessary, brutal. Julian absorbed it without protest. They sat in silence while the world moved around them, children laughing, dogs chasing balls, couples walking hand in hand, all the normal, beautiful things Julian had spent his life avoiding. "I found Daniel," Julian said finally. Luna's breath caught. "What?" "He's dead. Car accident. 8 months ago." Luna stared ahead, processing. Her eyes filled with tears she didn't let fall. Good. The word was hollow. Not celebratory, just final. There was a life insurance policy, Julian continued. Small, but meant for you. You never claimed it. I didn't know. I know. Julian pulled an envelope from his jacket. My lawyers handled it. The money's yours. Luna didn't take it, didn't even look. Is that why you came? To give me money? No. Julian set it on the bench between them. I came to tell you something I should have said weeks ago. Luna finally looked at him, guarded, waiting. Julian took a breath. I've been in therapy for 3 days, intensive sessions. My therapist says I have severe attachment trauma rooted in maternal manipulation. He paused, which is a clinical way of saying my mother destroyed my ability to believe anyone could love me without wanting something. Luna said nothing. Every time I doubted you, Julian continued, voice raw, it wasn't about you. It was about me. About the voice in my head that sounds like Victoria, telling me I'm not worth loving. That vulnerability equals weakness. A leaf fell between them. Noah grabbed for it, missing. I know that's not an excuse, Julian said. I know I hurt you, multiple times, and I know saying sorry again means nothing when I haven't proven I can change. So why are you here? Luna's voice was soft, honest. Julian turned to face her fully. Because I'm choosing to change, not for you, not for Noah. For myself. He swallowed hard. I'm staying in therapy. I fired Victoria from the board. I'm restructuring my life around becoming someone capable of accepting love without destroying it. Luna's eyes glistened. That doesn't fix what already happened. I know. It doesn't undo the doubt, the questions. I know. Then what do you want from me, Julian? Julian looked at Noah, who was watching him with impossible, trusting eyes. Time, Julian whispered. I want time to prove I can be different, that I can be the man you deserve, the man Noah deserves. And if you can't, Julian met her gaze, then I'll let you go, cleanly, with enough money to never worry and enough distance that I can't keep hurting you. Luna's tears finally fell. I don't want your money. I know. I want... Her voice broke. I want you to love us without being afraid of it. Julian's chest cracked open. I'm terrified. I know. But I'm trying. I know. They sat in silence. Noah squirmed, reaching for Julian again. This time Luna didn't stop him. Julian extended his hand slowly, Noah's tiny fingers wrapped around his, gripping tight. And Julian felt it again, that impossible warmth, that terrifying, beautiful thing he'd spent his whole life running from. Hope. I can't promise I won't mess this up again, Julian said quietly. I can't promise I'll forgive you if you do, Luna replied. Julian nodded. Fair. But, Luna continued, barely audible, I can promise I'll try, if you're really willing to do the work. Julian looked at her, saw the strength it took to give him another chance, the courage required to risk her heart when he'd already broken it twice. I'll do whatever it takes, he whispered. Luna studied his face for a long moment, searching for the lie. But all she found was a man finally learning to fight for something instead of against it. Okay, she said finally. Just that. Okay. But in that single word, Julian heard forgiveness, possibility, a door left carefully open. They stayed at the park until sunset. Julian pushed Noah on the baby swings while Luna watched, something soft returning to her expression. They didn't talk much, didn't need to. Sometimes healing wasn't dramatic. It was just present. When Noah started fussing, Luna stood to leave. Julian walked them to her car, helped buckle Noah into the car seat, with hands finally learning gentleness. Luna, she turned, thank you for not giving up on me. Luna's smile was small, sad, real. "Don't make me regret it." "I won't." She drove away. Julian watched her taillights disappear into dusk. Then he called his therapist. "How do you love someone when you've never been taught how?" His therapist was quiet. Then, "You let them teach you." Julian closed his eyes. "What if I'm too broken?" "Then you heal. One choice at a time. One honest moment at a time." "And if it's not enough?" "Then at least you tried. And trying, Julian, is how broken people become whole." Julian stood alone in the parking lot, tears he'd held for 34 years finally breaking free. "I don't know how to do this," he whispered. "That's okay, nobody does. That's why it's called learning." 3 weeks passed. Julian kept his distance, gave Luna space. But he showed up in small ways: a text checking on Noah's fever, groceries when paychecks were thin, flowers with no note. He worked on himself, therapy 3 times a week, books about attachment, trauma, healing, confronting the parts he'd buried under ambition. It was hard, uncomfortable, painful, but for the first time Julian felt like he was building something real, not an empire, a foundation. On Friday evening, Luna texted, "Noah took his first steps today." Julian stared at the message, chest tight. He'd missed it, but Luna had thought to tell him. That had to mean something. He replied, "I wish I'd been there." 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Finally, maybe next time. Julian smiled, actually smiled. Something genuine, fragile, human. "I'd like that," he typed. Luna's response came quickly. "Tomorrow, park, 3 p.m, if you want." Julian didn't hesitate. "I'll be there." Julian arrived 15 minutes early. He stood at the park entrance, dressed not in his usual armor of tailored suits, but in jeans and a sweater, something softer, more human. His hands trembled slightly as he checked his phone. No new messages. What if she changed her mind? What if this was goodbye disguised as hope? Then he saw them. Luna appeared through the falling leaves, Noah in a stroller, moving slowly toward the bench where they'd first sat together weeks ago. She wore a simple dress, hair loose around her shoulders. When she spotted Julian, she stopped. Their eyes met across the distance, and Luna smiled. Small, tentative, but real. Julian's entire world shifted. He crossed the grass quickly, stopping just before reaching them. Noah saw him first, arms reaching up, babbling excitedly. "Hey, little man," Julian whispered, voice thick. Luna unbuckled Noah from the stroller. "He's been asking for you, in his way." "Yeah?" "He keeps pointing at tall men in suits." Luna's smile widened slightly. "I think he's confused a lot of businessmen." Julian laughed, genuine, unguarded. He knelt down to Noah's level. The baby immediately grabbed his face, tiny hands exploring, giggling. "I missed you," Julian said softly. Noah babbled something that sounded almost like agreement. Julian looked up at Luna. "Both of you." Luna's expression softened. She sat on the bench, and Julian joined her. Noah contentedly settled between them. They watched the world move around them. Autumn deepening into winter, light slanting golden through bare branches, the city humming in the distance. "I've been thinking," Luna said finally, "about what you said, about changing." Julian waited, barely breathing. "I don't need you to be perfect," Luna continued. "I need you to be honest. When you're scared, tell me. When your mother gets in your head, tell me. When you feel yourself pulling away, tell you," Julian finished. "I can do that." "Can you?" Julian turned to face her fully. 3 days ago, I had a panic attack in therapy, thought I was dying. My therapist helped me understand it was fear of losing you, of failing Noah, of becoming my mother. He paused. "I wanted to call you, to hear your voice, but I didn't because I thought I needed to handle it alone. And now? Now I understand that's exactly what Victoria taught me. That asking for help is weakness. That needing someone makes you vulnerable. Julian's voice dropped, but my therapist said something that changed everything. What? She said vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the only way broken people learn to be whole. Luna's eyes filled with tears. Julian reached out slowly, giving her time to pull away. She didn't. His fingers brushed hers, then intertwined. "I'm still broken," Julian whispered. "I'm still learning. I'm still terrified I'll hurt you again." "You probably will," Luna said honestly. "In small ways. Because that's what people do, we hurt each other sometimes. Then why take the risk?" Luna looked at Noah, then back at Julian. "Because some people are worth the risk, and I hope, you might be one of them." Julian's throat tightened. "I don't deserve you?" "Maybe not." Luna smiled through her tears. "But maybe that's not the point. Maybe the point is becoming someone who does." Julian pulled her close, carefully, reverently, as if she might disappear. Luna melted into him, Noah giggling between them, oblivious to the weight of the moment. "I love you," Julian whispered into her hair. "I don't know how to do it right yet, but I love you, both of you." Luna pulled back just enough to see his face. "Say it again." "I love you." "Again." "I love you, Luna Torres." She kissed him then, soft, sweet, tasting of salt and hope and second chances. When they broke apart, Noah was staring up at them, grinning. "I think he approves," Luna laughed. Julian lifted Noah into his arms, holding him close. "What do you think, buddy? Should I stick around?" Noah grabbed Julian's nose, squealing with delight. "I'll take that as a yes," Julian murmured. They stayed until the streetlights flickered on, walked through the park as the world turned quiet and cold. Julian pushed the stroller while Luna walked beside him, their shoulders touching, small and significant. "What happens now?" Luna asked. "Now?" Julian considered. "Now we take it slow. One day at a time. I keep going to therapy. You keep being patient with me. We figure it out together. And your mother. I've cut all contact. She's fighting the board removal, but she'll lose. My lawyers are better than hers." Luna nodded. "She'll try again. You know that." "Let her." Julian stopped walking, turning to face Luna. "She doesn't control me anymore. I choose you. I choose this. Whatever she throws at us, we face it together." "Together?" Luna echoed, testing the word. "If you'll have me." Luna looked at him, really looked, saw the fear still there, but also the courage, the broken pieces learning to fit together, the man willing to fight his demons instead of running from them. "Yes," she whispered, "I'll have you." 6 months later, Julian stood in Luna's apartment, the one he'd helped her move out of 2 weeks ago. She'd protested the new place he'd found, called it too much, too expensive, too fast. But when she saw the second bedroom, painted soft blue, filled with toys, a window overlooking the park where they'd first reconciled, she'd cried. Now boxes filled the space, their lives slowly intertwining. Julian lifted Noah high in the air, the boy shrieking with laughter. 11 months old now, walking, babbling, calling Julian Juju in a way that shattered and rebuilt him every single time. Luna emerged from the bedroom, hair tied back, paint on her cheek. "I think we're actually going to make this place home," she said. Julian lowered Noah, setting him down to toddle toward his toys. Then he crossed to Luna, pulling her close. "It already is," he whispered. "Wherever you are, that's home." Luna rested her head against his chest. "You've gotten better at this, the feelings thing. I have a good teacher." "Yeah?" "Yeah." They stood together in the chaos of moving boxes and new beginnings, Noah playing at their feet, the future uncertain but no longer terrifying. Because Julian had learned something his mother never understood. Love wasn't control. It wasn't perfection. It wasn't empire or power or calculated risk. It was this: messy, imperfect, human, real. And for the first time in 34 years, Julian Steele was finally, beautifully alive. 2 years later, Julian stood at the same park bench where everything had changed. Luna beside him, her hand in his, a small diamond on her finger that had taken him 3 months to choose because nothing felt worthy of her. Noah ran ahead, chasing pigeons, laughing. "Do you ever regret it?" Luna asked softly. "Choosing this over the empire?" Julian had stepped down as CEO 6 months ago, still owned the company, but no longer ruled it, had chosen presence over power. "Never," he said. "Not once. Even when it's hard? Especially then?" Julian turned to her. "Because hard means real, and real is all I ever wanted." Noah ran back, crashing into Julian's legs. Julian scooped him up, tickling him until the boys' laughter echoed across the park. Luna watched them, her two loves, and felt tears prick her eyes. Sometimes miracles happened in elevators. Sometimes broken people learned to be whole. Sometimes love was simply letting someone teach you how. Rate this story from 0 to 10 in the comments. If you believe real love is worth fighting for, like and subscribe. Thank you for staying until the end.